Buy or sell Dynasty Offseason Edition. And today we have wide receiver DJ Moore from the Carolina Panthers. 2021, 93 receptions out of 163 targets, over 1,000 receiving yards, 8 touchdowns. He did finish wide receiver 18. There was a glimpse of where he was going off in the first part of the season. We all said, finally. We were like, this is it. Man. And then the fall off.
Darnold was the key.
He was the key. And then the fall off happened. Zach, are you buying or selling DJ Moore?
Okay. For this entire series, I've always leaned one way, Right. And for the life of me, I'm so sorry, but I am in the middle here. I am genuinely in the middle, and I just want to explain because I see hope, but I also see some signs of, I guess, things that I'm questioning. Okay, so let's talk about the good. So what has he done so far? All right, over 1,100 yards in every season for the past 3 years. Right. He's also caught 4 touchdowns in every one of those seasons. 93 receptions in 2021. I mean, that's big time numbers. Wide receiver 18 in PPR. Now let's talk about who he's done it with for the last 3 years. In 2019, it was Kyle Allen. Okay. Kyle Allen that year, accuracy rating, he ranked 30th in the NFL. True completion percentage, which takes out unpressured throwaways and drop passes, he ranked 26th in the NFL. Deep ball completion percentage, 33rd in the NFL. Passes over 20 yards. Catchable pass rate, 42nd in the NFL. There are 32 teams, and he ranked 42nd in the NFL.
Right, okay.
We talk about 2020. Teddy's season was up and down. Then we talk about Sam Darnold. What did it look like this year when, he had his best year pretty much? What did it look like with Sam Darnold? Well, his accuracy rating was 33rd in the NFL. This is all according to Player Profiler, okay? Yeah. True completion percentage, 30th in the NFL. Deep ball completion percentage, 32nd, and catchable pass rate was 33rd. So when I look at his body of work so far, it is quite impressive when you look at who he's done it with, what he's had to do with what he's been given. It's very Terry McLaurin-esque. You see the talent, and you always wonder, what could he actually be with a true, even a top 15 accuracy-wise, efficiency-wise quarterback in the NFL. What could he do with that? I always think that to myself. He's only 24 years old, and I sit there and I think, okay, I see what he's done with who he's done it with, and I ask myself, does he still have room to improve as a wide receiver? Is this really the ceiling for someone who's 24 years old? I mean, we're talking about Jalen Waddle. He's 23 years old. Waddle's already 23. Right. I want to say a couple reasons why I am worried. Number one is the drops. He was top 3 in the NFL this year in drops. That's some mental mistakes. I remember that. The Cowboys game, he was dropping everything. You're already at a disadvantage with a bad quarterback, and it makes it a little bit more difficult if you're not catching everything thrown your way. And he wasn't extremely efficient, okay? I'm going to compare 2 players. One's Jalen Waddle, one's DJ Moore. I think they are very similar in what they meant to their team this year and what they can do on the field. Obviously, Waddle's a different type of speed, but they are slightly similar players in the role that they offer their offense, okay? So, DJ Moore was 5th highest in target share in the NFL, but still finished outside the top 10. Right. Okay? Jalen Waddle was 19th in target share. Still finished higher than DJ Moore. DJ Moore ranked 18th in the NFL in target separation. So that's yards of separation from the defender at the point of the pass, okay? Jalen Waddle finished 18th. Right. Okay? DJ Moore finished 66th. Okay? So he wasn't creating all that great separation. Jalen Waddle was 9th in the NFL in catch rate percentage. All right, so that's receptions to targets. And this is key for me because this is something I've noticed over the entire career of DJ Moore. Okay, DJ Moore in that same category in a catch rate percentage. That's how many receptions did you get based off of the targets that you saw. DJ Moore was 94th. Okay, had a ton of targets. You would have liked to see a lot more receptions. Again, they weren't as accurate, but still, it's slightly concerning. So there are some reasons to worry. I look like a guy like Jalen Waddle, and he's already more efficient than DJ Moore. And I have to ask myself, obviously he's connected to Tua. Yeah, so you can see where I'm sitting in the middle here. I'm genuinely sitting in the middle, so I couldn't give a solid answer. But I do have prices I would pay to get him and what I'm comfortable selling him
right.
for in a second. But Badake, I'm so sorry I couldn't give a direct answer. But where do you sit on this?
No, and that's okay. You know, DJ Moore is one of those guys that are kind of back and forth. And for me, I'm selling. There's no doubt about it. I'm selling. You know, we as fantasy owners have been waiting 4 years for the breakout. And the breakout was technically this year. He only finished wide receiver 18. And coming in the 2018 draft, he was the guy. You know, he was one of the top wide receivers in that draft, besides Calvin Ridley. Calvin Ridley was also in that draft. He gets obviously drafted to the Atlanta Falcons. But he was a number one receiver that went off the board that year. You know, he was a guy that was supposed to be, you know, catapulted to the very top. And he was so talented. He was so talented. And what's so funny is that the first thing I think of when I think of DJ Moore and the fantasy aspect, I don't know if you've seen that video with Steve Smith looking at Cam Newton. Like, bro, I just drafted this guy. Like, should I start him? And I'm like, in my head, it's like, no. Like, don't ever start him, you know? Like, I don't want that. So let's look at the last 4 years and where he finished as a top wide receiver. 2018, wide receiver 36. 2019, wide receiver 19. 2020, 25. Wide receiver 25. And then 2021, wide receiver 18. He's staying in that gap, you know, between 20 to 30. I feel like that's a good number. And I don't want to be spending, you know, anything on DJ Moore, whether I'm trading for him, trying to trade for him. So I'm definitely selling. I think this is the highest you can probably sell DJ Moore now. And everything that you were saying about these quarterbacks who he had with him, it just didn't work out. Cam Newton, you know, at one point, I think his rookie year, Kyle Allen, Teddy B, Sam Darnold, PJ Walker, you know, all these guys, and then Cam came back. It's just not going to happen. I can see my scenario is that I see him re-signing a 2-year, 3-year potentially extension because the Carolina Panthers are trying to find their quarterback currently right now. You know, who is that going to be? Whether that's a rookie, Sam Howell, Matt Corral, Kenny Pickett, or what if they get Russ? But no big high caliber quarterback, Russ, Deshaun, Aaron Rodgers wants to go to the Panthers. There's nothing there for them. You know, like that's not a franchise you can go and win right now. So I do see this.
They have great pieces, but it does seem a little bit in shambles with the 7-year Matt Rule deal.
Exactly. So I don't think anyone wants to go there right now. So I do believe they get a rookie quarterback, which and then could help DJ Moore. But then he has to get a whole new rhythm with him. He has to get a connection with this quarterback. And it's just like, it's going to be too late by then. 25, 26 is going to be like, you know what? It's time to sell. So sell now. That's my personal opinion. We can talk about prices. Like,
I'm kind of like, by the way, so he finishes wide receiver 18. I do think he could finish higher than that. 100%. I don't think he's going to be top 12. So I'm not sitting here saying that I think his best year has happened because I do think there is potentially better years out there with a more consistent. I mean, if you switch DJ Moore and Jalen Waddle this year, we talked about how accurate and efficient Tua was.
Right.
What would DJ Moore's numbers have looked like? You know, would he have had a higher you know, catch rate percentage? Last thing I want to talk about, and this is the thing that really, really started to worry me about DJ Moore. Okay. So there's a catch rate percentage, and this is all according to Player Profiler, but there's also a true catch rate percentage. Okay. So that is receptions divided by the total catchable targets. So targets that were deemed catchable. Okay. Jalen Waddle in this category was fantastic. 6th. Okay. DJ Moore, 79th. So you can see, you know, this is where I'm kind of hung up on. If I'm looking at DJ Moore being efficient, but his quarterback play not as efficient, I'm all in. But this is where I'm kind of like, dang, I see the talent. I know he can be, you know, this player, but will it ever pan out? So for me, you said you're selling. For me, it's all based off of price. I am willing to buy him. I would be so comfortable with him as my 3rd wide receiver in my Dynasty league. You know, I don't want him being my 1 or my 2 by any means, but let's talk about what a fair price to pay is then. If I'm buying him, I would send a late 2022 first rounder. Do not send any 2023 picks for DJ Moore.
Right.
Okay? But anything from like the 108 onwards, you're guessing if these guys are ever going to be as relevant as DJ Moore. And some of them are only a year younger.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So that's what I would be buying for. If I'm selling, look, I would be looking to get any 2023 first. I don't imagine people would give that up. So I would also settle for an early first in this year's draft if someone still sees the talent and sees that he's young. Otherwise, I'm holding. And that's the best answer I could get.
Yeah, look, that definitely makes sense for me. I'm looking for a first, whether it's in 2022, 2023. I mean, maybe I'll take a chance in 2024, but and that's a long investment.
That's probably the easier draft to get right now than 2023 is.
Yeah, exactly. And that's a long investment. If you can get, the thought process is that can he be better than some of these guys coming in, quote unquote, a George Pickens, a David Bell? Can those guys be better than David Moore? And we don't necessarily know because we don't know their landing spot right now. So by the way, in a rookie draft, the hit rate is only 50% anyway. Yeah, so it's tough. It's tough. But if I'm just trying to get anything I possibly can right now for DJ Moore, because I don't see. I mean, yes, he can finish higher. I just don't see him, projecting like a massive jump, 15, 16, maybe 14. That's it.
Maybe he's someone that we just need to be okay with being a 15 to 20 guy for his career. Maybe that's okay,
That sucks.
Because I think about how excited I was for Jalen Reagor, coming into the NFL. Mm-hmm. And imagine you traded DJ Moore. Like, imagine Rager's coming. There will be a Reagor in this year's class, right?
No doubt about it, right.
Like, sometimes it's, what do I know? Is the grass really greener on the other side? So I'm sorry, guys. Normally I'm like super confident in which way I'm leaning. Let us know in the comments, though. Are you buying or selling DJ Moore?
Yo, what's good? Thanks for watching. We got a lot more videos.
A lot more.
If you want more videos.
Watch it.
You can also subscribe.
Right now.
If you want to.
You need to.
And lastly, don't forget that you can sign up to support the show and get exclusive content by going to patreon.com/fantasylandfam.